Good evening, sports fans. My name is Brightops, and welcome back to a special episode of Blood Bowl 2, the Temple Guard series. Yes, we've been looking forward to this for a while. It's the finale of the Mega Cup versus the Infernal Tartarus, the Chaos Dwarven team. Let us see what we can do against this rough opposition, shall we?
Here we go! Fun and hopefully death.
Well, we can't afford any bonuses, but they've picked up a star player and an extra reroll. Yeah, well.
Let's play Blood Bowl!
Yes, this is probably going to be the hardest challenge we've fought for a while. Since, well, both dwarves and Chaos Dwarves, have their primary players all have tackle and, I believe, block to start with. Which makes the skinks just running by them kind of difficult.
Nice weather to play Blood Bowl.
And we are on our home stadium.
That team has spent all their extra time on the training field. They're up for this.
Yeah, we're on our own home stadium, which has been relatively recently upgraded. As you can see by the fact that it actually looks pretty impressive, honestly. Just granted, I don't believe we've gotten around to getting an actual enhancement. And if we can figure out, there's the star player right there. Mad Eye is very much a correct name for him.
You see those big four-legged creatures? If they get their hands on the ball, you really need to start worrying.
Let's see, we can pretty much trounce this middle bit fairly easily. We don't really need these guys here, we can move them to the sides a little. Because these three are more than capable of ripping these three apart. Oh, this is a pitch invasion. Let's see who's down. Wow, that was the closest I can picture for that. That was a freaking massacre. Although thankfully, it seems that they've selected to target just the enemy team rather than us. See, we've locked him down. That is good. Let's see who we got on the pitch. Sinister 7, Michael Weiser, and Trevor. Yep, the Alcoholic is moving forward. And gets it on the reroll. We'll just be sending the rest of the skinks up to support him. Support the Alcoholic. And we'll keep Lord of the Brawler there just to continue providing support. Yep, Captain Armor has been knocked down. Let's see what they do.
That player is looking rather smug for remaining upright. Pride comes before fall.
Alright, Alright, Conrad, let's see if we can knock... Well, we can't knock him down, but we could get him off the ball carrier. which, if nothing else, gets him out of the way for the time being. And thus we can run the rest of our skinks up the field to provide some support. Since really they're not really in a good position to try and stop us. Now let's see if we can take down Mad Eye. Sadly, no. Though at this stage, we at least have locked this side of the team down. Now, I don't believe we've fought Chaos Dwarves on the Lizardmen yet, so here's a bit. So there are some differences between them and the normal Dwarven team. And the main one of that is the fact that they are somewhat multi-species. Because as you can see, I believe they can only have 6 actual Dwarven members. Granted, they have movements of 4, 3 strength, their agility is only a 2, but their real strength is they've got 9 armor value.
That's it. Get in their face.
They just got owned. That's what the cool kids are saying, isn't it?
Damn. Their reroll managed to pull it off. But yes, unlike the normal Dwarven team, which is purely made up of dwarves, the Chaos Dwarf team has 6 Dwarven members, but they have the Bull Centaurs. They have 2 Bull Centaurs who are actually fairly good at what they do. Strength 4, movement range availability 6, and armor value 9. Puts them slightly above our Sauruses, simply because they've got a bit more agility. Well, there's a dead goblin. That's just a great way to start.
But as the saying goes, today's player is tomorrow's necromancer fodder.
Let's see, push him down. Let's see, can we knock... Yes, we can. We can knock a few more dwarves around a bit, trying to earn a few more injuries and kills. But let's be honest, a +9 is kind of a hard obstacle to take on.
Twinkle toes there.
And let's just get rid of that star player. Well, getting us ahead.
Fast. If they keep doing that, we'll be in double figures by the end of the second half.
Right, the cheerleading squad. I completely forgot to change that from last time. That is my bad. Still, they're down a goblin. And Mad Eye's off the field.
Weapons are still back.
Let's see.
All the pleasure they bring to the spectators.
Well, that was a
In fact,
level.
They should be compulsory.
Okay, this time we're going to have to stack the front line a bit, just to try and prevent them from just steamrolling through. Let's see. Yeah, they already had a guy who was under the bull. Didn't save him, but he was there. Another thing that the dwarves have is the hobgoblins, who aren't exactly their linemen, simply because, well, that's kind of what the dwarves are for, but they sort of serve a variety of roles. In that they...
Fight can be so overrated. There's always room
in the
sport
fact
for a
that they
scrap like this.
can... Yeah, this was my bad. I shouldn't have gone for the big guy first.
How are they going to catch or run with a ball if they're constantly writhing around on the ground?
But as surprising as it might sound, probably one of the better members of their team for ball handling is the centaur. Since, yes, they have the movement, they move the same distance as the goblins, but by default, they have a couple more abilities in the fact that they've got sprint, which allows them to make 3 going for it rolls, spaces rather than just 2, and sure feet, which means they can effectively re-roll one of their attempts to free roll an attempt to go for it. Oh, nuts. Fractured skull. Nope, that's not... I would rather take a missed game than a fractured skull. Just this might sound weird for why, but the answer quite simply is part of the Saurus's ability is to be difficult to hurt. If their armor value goes down, that kind of defeats the whole point. And I would rather not, you know, have to replace a Saurus unless I have to. Okay, we need to do some house clearing. Because we're a little behind on that.
That's disappointing. They're both still standing.
Well, you're down, if nothing else. Now let's get rid of you. Yep. And try and block and cause some trouble for that hobgoblin. Alright, we'll move a skink up here to provide some support. And it works off nicely. Let's see, Michael Vise. I'm going to keep him back here for now, simply because I don't really want to commit him to trying to fight these guys. And I'd like to see if we can knock down their ball carrier. Would have a skink free to just charge in there, grab it and run. It might surprise some viewers to learn just a little bit of lore here. That the bull centaurs were originally Chaos Dwarves.
Well done.
Effectively, Chaos Dwarves worship a unique Chaos God, who is customized by being a bull. He is known for being a bull. And his most devout when it comes to his most devout worshippers, they tend to take the form. They tend to mutate into the centaurs. It's actually seen to be a highly grand honor for them to become a centaur, since if you do, because as I said, it's a sign of the favor of their patron deity. Another little trick about Chaos Dwarves that other dwarves, the more stock standard dwarf, doesn't have is the fact that they actually can have access to magic. See, your standard dwarf does not have access to magical powers. That's just the fact of it. It's one of those things they just have naturally. They don't have access to them. However, Chaos Dwarves, through worship of their god and through sacrifice and all that, can gain magical abilities. However, this comes at something of a price, as you can no doubt imagine. See, dwarves are, as a species, never meant to be able to use magic. It's just something they're not naturally meant to do. And as such, in exchange for their magical gifts, as it were, the Chaos Dwarf sorcerers will, over time, because they can, like all dwarves, live for centuries, they will start to turn to stone. It's a gradual process that will happen over time. That bits and pieces of them will transform into stone until eventually they just become a stone statue completely. There isn't, in fact, in their massive,
I want to see the opposing team have a go.
In their big city, there is actually a stone garden dedicated to basically the sorceress dwarves, since the dwarves who become sorcerers, they have a tendency to be, well, effectively, they tend to become leading figures in Chaos Dwarf society. Which, when you think about it, makes perfect sense. Oh boy.
That's why I love this game.
Thankfully, it's only just a badly injured, nothing too horrific. So there is that. Alright, let's see if we can knock this goblin down.
All this focus on the ball.
Yes, we can.
Spirit of the game. Give me more radical violence.
And we injured him too.
Make it hard.
It's a badly injured, but he's off the pitch.
That looks painful.
Good job, Cyclone. Now let's see if we can get rid of another one. Sadly, no. He's stunned, but he's not dead. Let's just push him forward a bit. Alright. Conrad the Executioner is gonna have to... As much as I would like to have gotten Trevor to just run away and all that, so he kind of needs to try and save.
Small, slippery, and truly annoying.
Let's see, actually, it doesn't really matter. We've only got an extra turn to do this, so...
They're passing the ball back. Interesting, if so.
See, nope, we've...
I could be scathing here, but I'll let the viewers make up their own minds.
I will admit that as far as moves go, probably not the greatest I could have made, but... meh. But yeah... just simply because we weren't going to be able to score in another turn, just the one round turn, but neither are they.
Missed that action.
And we get our rerolls back at the start of the next round anyway, so... let us see if we can finally crack the dark iron nut. Sorry, not Dark Iron, Chaos Dwarf. Sorry, I've been playing a bit of World of Warcraft lately. Which, fun story, was somewhat inspired by the Warhammer universe. See, because originally, Blizzard was running the idea of... more or less making a Warhammer game, but for various reasons, it didn't pan out. They didn't get the license, so they went and made their own setting in the Warcraft. Wait, I might be getting the two mixed up here. So I can't remember if I said the names. They were going for a Warhammer license. They were turned down by Games Workshop. So they made their own license in the Warcraft series, and it's worked out remarkably well for them. If I do say so myself.
Come on, guys, together.
That play went down like a sack of snorkeling unmentioned.
Well, that's the first half, and so far things are going fairly well. I mean, granted, we've got a Saurus who's off the pitch with injury, but they've got more people off the field. At least one of them's dead. And we're just slowly whittling away at the Hobgoblin reserves.
They should replace that player before they lose any more. Important thing, you gotta keep possession of the ball, not lose.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I just remembered that one of the skinks we've lost is Sinister, who unfortunately is our strong fighty skink, so we can't really have them on the line. Now, people might be wondering why Dwarves and Chaos Dwarves are two different factions. Why they're two different... particularly why do Chaos Dwarves exist. And that has to go back to very early on in the history of the Warhammer world.
Get the ball. Just tried dishing out a few whacks.
See, very early on, there was a great chaos incursion, as it were. The poles were... Two chaos rifts opened up around the poles, and because of them, basically demons just basically flooded the freaking world. Chaos energy just ran rampant. A lot of creatures such as, say, trolls came into existence around this time. Because chaos energy just sort of infused their beings and made them a thing. But a particular strong series of strongholds of a dwarven expedition. Sorry, dwarven expedition. Because this was back in the early days, where dwarves were probably at their height. They were basically setting up strongholds everywhere they could. And one of the places they did so was in a mountain range that was fairly up north, as it turned out. Very north near where the Chaos Wastes would basically come into play. Basically where the whole Chaos Incursion thing, at least on the northern hemisphere, started. Now, dwarves, by their nature, are they're pretty much... They can't use magic, but in exchange for that, they're also highly resistant to magic. They're not immune, but they have a better chance of resisting chaos, corruption, and warp bullshittery than anyone else. Well, just about anyone else. And for the dwarves who had set up in the stronghold up north, this proved, well, true. They were still highly resistant to chaos corruption from all the energy that was just flooding down from the north. However, they weren't immune to it. It was very much a case of they were very slowly dying. It was a very slow, very brutal kind of process, since they couldn't really flee anywhere because demons were everywhere at the time.
Dull, very dull. One of them should hit harder.
And, well, since they were cut off and couldn't really go anywhere, they were just very slowly being drained of life, as it were. However, they were not without, well, let's just call it assistance. In that let's see, what was his name? I will admit right now that I've kind of forgotten the exact name of the Chaos Dwarves deity. But effectively, a greater demon, particularly one who takes the form of a bull, offered the dwarves some salvation from their plight. In exchange for them worshipping him, he would provide them with he would basically save them from dying an excruciatingly painful death. And they accepted the deal. They accepted that deal. Now, granted, this particular greater chaos demon is not exactly benevolent, as you would, if that makes sense. But then again, none of them really are. But in particular, the way that worship for him works, or generally works with the Chaos Dwarves, is
Because
the
two
Chaos
big guys
Dwarves are major slavers. They will go, basically their entire society is built on slave labor. Particularly they will go out and, for the most part, they will go after greenskin, right? Greenskins, such as orcs and goblins.
Fall on you. It can really hurt.
But they do have... Oh, right. That's not good. That is not good at all. See, and dodging out of the way just isn't gonna happen. That's just the life of it. Alright, let's get this dwarf out of the way so we can get the skinks forward. See, where was I? Ah, yes. Chaos Dwarves are huge slavers.
Put some pressure on the ball carrier.
It's basically the basis of their society. And a lot of the main reason... And while they do have slaves for, you know, economical reasons,
What a speedster!
they generally prefer... The main reason they have slaves is to sacrifice them to their god,
I love it.
which they can do in remarkably high numbers.
He didn't see the opponents around him, did he?
For example, that whole mention of their god being a bull, taking the form of a bull,
Ah, we called that
is
Devil's Kiss.
often taken into account when it comes to their sacrificial practices, since a favorite method of sacrifice for the Chaos Dwarves is let's see, what's it called? I think it's called the Iron Bull, but it could be... I will admit that it's very likely to be some sort of other metal, but it's a metal... It's a metal bull. It's effectively a metal bull, but I can't remember what metal they use. But effectively, they make a giant, kind of a giant hollow metal bull.
Night.
And when they're making a sacrifice, they will load their victim into the giant metal bull, and then they will basically light a bonfire under it and heat the thing up to basically cook them alive. And the way that the bull is engineered, the whole mechanism is engineered, the screams of the victim will actually be converted into effectively mooing sounds that come out of the bull's mouth. And they will do this en masse. Like, it is not strange for a ritual for an average summon, hell, just to get magical abilities from their deity. It isn't strange for them to sacrifice, say hundreds of slaves just for the privilege of getting magic.
I like it. The dung is about to hit the fan. That's it. Aim for the ball carrier. Take them down.
Whew. Alright. Well, we're slowly making progress. Unfortunately, so are they, which is the problem. But as for why the Chaos Dwarves have hobgoblins on their team, there's a and why hobgoblins aren't on any other greenskin team, such as the goblin team or the orc team. There's a reason for this. See, at some point in the history of the orcs and the Chaos Dwarves, there was a massive orcish uprising amongst the Chaos Dwarf slave population, which were led by... which they haven't been don't think we've really run into them yet, but... basically, one of the hard hitters for the orc team is the Black Orcs, who led this uprising. There is in-universe stories that the Chaos Dwarves originally created the Black Orcs as an attempt to basically have to somehow gain more control over their slave population. Since, you know, since with Orc society, bigger, stronger an Orc is, the higher up the totem pole they are. The logic being that if they have a large Orc that is that is a boss of other Orcs that is subservient to them, that they will be able to basically control the population. No one's entirely sure if this is true or not, I will admit. Since this is, as I said, this is basically an in-universe myth. No one really knows for sure. But the Orcish uprising was in full swing and was threatening to basically be the end of Chaos Dwarf society as a whole. Until the hobgoblins, who were basically a subspecies of the orc hierarchy, basically betrayed their fellow greenskins and sided with the Chaos Dwarves. Which, exactly why they did this is, well, remarkably simple when you think about it. Orcish society isn't forgiving towards people who are lower on the totem pole. If you haven't realized that. Basically, the smaller you are, the more the lower you are socially. And the hobgoblins, being remarkably intelligent for goblins, being somewhat bigger than normal ones and bigger and smarter, realized during the uprising that if they sided with the Chaos Dwarves, they would probably be better off than if they sided with their greenskin brethren. So they betrayed their kind and stuck with the dwarves.
Don't forget to pick up your tea.
Okay, this could be decisive. We're not going to be able to get the skinks down there in time, so we're going to risk a Saurus picking it up.
They picked up the ball. I suppose I should say something memorable or funny here.
And they actually did it. Huh. Sorry, I don't mean to sound surprised, just... damn. I was fully expecting him to at least fumble the ball, and basically we would try and get it over the line, or at least out of...
That's a streak of something, Jim. I wouldn't call it lightning.
I was personally hoping that he would drop the ball into out of the field, and that's get it punted just up the field as far as possible, so they wouldn't be able to just grab it and run a score to tie it up. But I will happily take Lauder picking the ball up. It means they have to try and get it off of him.
That's a strike made with technique and precision. It's not always about sheer muscle.
And most of their hard hitters are currently up near the middle of the pitch. The only two they've got down here are the goblins.
I love it when that happens.
And, well, this isn't going to work out for him. Not in the slightest.
Plans are ravenous, and so am I. Just one more step. Well done. You helped the ball carrier.
Alright, we're going to keep keeping those skinks down over there, simply because, well, the AI doesn't really do much in the way of stamping on the ground. And I would rather not have them be punched repeatedly, because that's how they will end up dead. Okay, they've got a turn to try and get the ball away from Lord of the Brawler, who not only has Blodge, which is going to make that a very difficult prospect, but the fact that he has +4 strength is going to very much work in his favor, especially since he has support in the form of Conrad.
Can the player force possession away from the ball holder?
Well, it's been a brutal game, I'm not gonna lie. But we've survived it, and we've won.
Oh, he's going to get intimate with this.
Though the fact that we're going to be going into our first Silver Division match with two of our sources down is going to be, well, not the greatest experience ever.
More than 20 swords came up from Slanhopek.
When the match was over,
nice.
They're going to spend time on the bench for that.
Might as well just go up the field as far as possible, because why the hell not? Alright, and that's all we can do.
So what are your closing thoughts on this game?
Well, it wasn't the greatest match I've seen, Jim. It wasn't the worst. This game is heading for mid-table obscurity in the history of the sport.
Well, we've won our first Blood Bowl Cup. Fantastic. And Lord of the Brawler definitely earned that MVP spot. No doubt about it. That last minute save at the touchdown really pulled our ass out of the fire. And, as is tradition, we're going to be doing our levels up. Unfortunately, Miss Lana, the Golden, will be down for it. Part of me wants to get her block just so that we can have that, but getting the extra point of armor value is not nothing. because 10 armor value is a nightmare to try and breach. I'm going to get block simply because, well, as we saw in that game, if we had block, it may have probably helped her out a few times. No doubt about it. But anyway, we've managed to win our Mega Cup, the first Mega Cup with the Temple Guards. And with the competition over, and with us winning, we have a new season to go with.
Is really magical, Bob?
That's a trade secret, Jim.
And we're in the Silver Division. In this case, our first opponents are going to be the Fat Chop, an Ogre team, which is going to be interesting, to say the least. But while we're at it, let's have a quick look at... Oh wait, who was it who has managed to basically be knocked down? Let's see, these two were there before, so were these guys. Was it Wood Elves? I'm not sure. Oh wait. Yep, we found them. I'm guessing it's Dry Ash, a Khemri team, because as far as I recall, we only fought one Khemri team during our run through the Bronze Division, and that was the Lapis Kings. So we've replaced a Khemri team in the Silver Division. But that will be for next time. Until then, my name is Bright Ops, and I look forward to hearing from you.